Now, this is some of the garbage that you will typically find on the paranormal side of TikTok. Alright, a lot of people are going to hear that and be like, I'm just going to switch this video off now because, you know, well, it's been a while since I've taken a little look at some paranormal footage, alright? And have given my opinions on stuff. Now, you're probably wondering, why do you care about my opinion? Well, because I used to make paranormal footage like this. I feel like I've got a bit of insight into making this stuff that a lot of people might not necessarily have. Now, with regards to the video that we've just seen, obviously, there's nothing to prove to me that this is paranormal, right? A woman stands up from a rocking chair with a teddy bear in her hand, stares at a camera for about a minute, which, by the way, for my ADHD brain, would literally be nigh on impossible, and has just posted it with the caption, "This is the scariest shit I've ever seen. She doesn't remember a thing." Am I buying that? No. Are you buying that? Probably not, but that's the kind of like depths that we're going to here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go on to another video. This happened in broad daylight. Watch. Okay. Now, this clip's a little bit more interesting because obviously there's a little bit more going on. So, my initial thought was, perhaps there's just someone kind of sat underneath this table. But when you watch the chair getting pushed out, it doesn't seem as if there's anyone kind of under there. Now, there's a good possibility that the chair getting pulled out could possibly be down to a piece of... Right, so there. Now, behind here, behind the pause arrow, it's just annoying that it's placed there. I couldn't see anybody kind of pushing it. Doesn't mean there wasn't, but a more logical explanation could possibly be, right, just a piece of fishing wire that goes around both legs so that the chair pulls back exactly, you know, as it is. And it could just be, we can see a little cabinet here. Now, if it were me, the easiest way to do this would have been to get a piece of fishing wire, wrap it around both legs at the back, alright, and then have it coming from the center, and then, you know, put it around one of the handles, maybe on this cabinet, maybe even the leg of the cabinet, because that's a bit more sturdy. You could even have someone around here, under this door, right, even just off camera down here, just give it a little tug, and then because of the tension getting pulled towards this, even if you pulled it in this direction, or that direction, right, you're going to have the same effect, which is this chair getting pulled backwards. Now, obviously that's enough for then this woman to go, freak out the door, see you later, skedaddle, stand outside for about 2 minutes while something else happens. Now, a lot of people are saying that, you know, under the table, that's why the black bag is there to hide them. There's a good possibility of that, but you would have probably seen a hand somewhere. I mean, obviously, this is a bit more of a extravagant kind of possibility. You might have even seen a bit of a lens flare, but if it's thin enough, like the wire's thin enough, you're not going to see lens flare at all. Let's get the video to progress a little bit. So she freaks out. Ah, scary. What the fuck? Classic line, by the way. What the fuck? Out the door. Off you go. And the bag moves. Now, the bag is, again, using the same kind of... Oh, I've lost it. Using the same kind of, like, methodology here. Alright, you've got the bag coming off... Where is it? Right here. Again, same methodology. Around the door handle, maybe even around something around here. Just a little bit of fishing wire. You could see the tension as it came back as well. A little bit. Have a watch at this. You can see it on the handle, and then it spins around. That's probably because there's something weighty inside the bag that carried the momentum, which then pushed the bag off the table. obviously I'm being very cynical here, but this is just, if I was to recreate this, this is how I would have created something like this back in the day. It's just a lot easier to kind of explain it in that sense. Obviously, I can't categorically say that this is fake without actually seeing the fishing line. This could be legit. It could well be. Do I think it is? No. Do I think do I believe in ghosts? Also, no. I would love to be proven wrong, but at the same time, I've just never seen any categorical evidence of it. Anyway, let's move on to this video.
Go lie down. It's okay. Lie down. Stay. I've been doing this all morning and I don't have time for this today. Stop. Hey buddy. I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out. Oh shit. Okay. I'm just gonna set it up with paper towels and we'll just let the phone roll. I asked you if you gotta go or you gotta go downstairs or something. Wherever you're gonna go, you gotta go. Calm down. He's okay. Please, not today. Just, holy cow. Oh my God. Little buddy.
Alright, so this one again, I think, is this Win McPix or something? I think that's the actual TikTok page that has uploaded this. There's a lot that goes on. Obviously, the door opens, you can see the shadow figure on the stairs, and it's creepy, it's weird, it's wild, it's, scary, supposedly. Camera, focus on me. Anyway, so if we take a little look down here, alright, we've got, obviously...
Lie down. It's okay.
Something weird happens, the dog. We never actually see the dog.
I've been doing this all morning, and I don't have time for this today. Stop.
He shuts the door.
Hey, buddy. I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out.
As for the flashing lights, an easy explanation for this would be there's another light switch down the bottom of the stairs, which is quite common for, I don't know about basements in America because obviously I'm not in America, but when I think about like stairwells in the UK, right? An easy explanation for this would be like you have a light at the top of the steps and you have a light at the bottom of the stairs. So no matter where you are on the stairs, you can turn the light on or off. It could possibly be the same gig there, just someone down in the basement flicking the lights on and off. Possibly. With regards to the door opening and closing, obviously you hear the door shut, but I wouldn't be surprised if the latch just wasn't fully on the latch. Either that or it's one of those roller doors. Like, you know where you have like the latch that goes into the little clicker bit. But instead of it being like one of the triangular ones that like pops and then holds in place, you've got one of like the ball roller. So then like you can open it and close it without having to twist the door handle. And then all you have to do then is just get a piece of fishing wire. Again, just give it a nice little tug. The door will open. Again, with it closing, if someone's already downstairs in the basement flicking the lights on and off, all it is just a piece of string there. Now, with regards to the shadowy figure, now we know for a fact,
you gotta go, or you
kind of see it there. We know for a fact that this probably is not a person. I would feel quite confident in saying that that's just not a person. I wouldn't be surprised if this was some kind of digital after effect, possibly. It wouldn't be the easiest thing to overlay into a video, especially when you have to try and match it with the contrast of the door, like the stairwell, and also the lighting coming in. So that's, that is quite a feat of art, if I'm perfectly honest. If that is digitally implemented, which I suggest, or I theorize it could possibly be. If it's a person stood there, obviously they're just in very dark clothing, maybe even like a blacked out morph suit of some kind, and it's just subtly stood towards the back to keep the shadow on them. Otherwise, if they kind of go to the other side, the lighting from the room wouldn't be blocked off by the door so much, which would mean that like all of this lighting here would probably, right, give away a bit more of a solid edge and a bit of more of a harsher silhouette instead of this subtlety. I don't necessarily know how that's done, so I'm not even going to theorize on that. I've never played around with anything like this before. So I can't comment on that, but if you've got an idea, let me know down in the comments. We're going to take a look at one more video because obviously these are breaking it down like this is quite time consuming, so I don't want to long it out necessarily, but let's take a look at one more video which I have right here.
Doors. You need to get out. Dude, will you knock it off, please? You gotta get out. You're gonna lock yourself in the laundry room again? You're not leaving? You're not gonna only up in my office. Something keeps passing by this window. I've just propped up the phone here and I'm gonna play.
It's Win McPix again.
If you're walking by my office, I want you to knock it off. Holy. Is that you making all that noise back there? This thing's always closing doors. You need to get out. Dude, will you knock it off, please? You gotta get out. You're gonna lock yourself in the laundry room again? You're not leaving? You're not gonna...
Alright, so let's kind of go through it. Now obviously the start of the video, it was kind of like a prelude to the main event, let's call it. So this is kind of actually where the video starts. So he's doing some gaming, looks like GTA 5, right? He's got his energy drinks, he's locked in for the sesh. Now, he's obviously talking about
something keeps passing by.
Something goes past the frosted glass. Let's take a little look.
I've just propped up the phone here and I'm gonna play.
Now, what's interesting about this, obviously, is it goes up to the frosted glass, but never appears over his shoulder. The easy way of describing this, or managing this, right, is the fact that you can see he never overlaps the frosted glass. Now, if I was to make this, what I would have done is I would have got a... what's it called? Mask. It's called masking. So what you do is you essentially cut out this part of the frosted glass, probably up to his arm, put his arm up there, and then up there, right? You don't have to cut around the face or anything. And then this footage that he's got here would have been one piece of footage. And then the frosted glass would have been a second piece of footage, right? Which would have been the cutout event. Now, all you do is you take your base footage, which would have been him playing the video game. You put in, like, imagine like this entire window is just a second piece of footage. You just overlap it, right? And then you play the footage of something walking past, which is only ever going to appear on that footage. So it's not obviously going to appear in this base footage, let's call it. And it's only going to pass the frosted glass. And then, because it's a pre-recorded video of a separate event, and then he's like, oh my God. And it's really easy footage, especially considering the camera is stationary. At least that's how I would have done it. Then, moving forwards, obviously, he gets up and he's like, oh my God, this is so weird. He goes over to the door. He notices that the door closes. Oh, that flies off first. If I was to do that, it would have been a piece of string. Again, it flies off in this direction. You could easily have someone hidden down behind here. Again, a piece of wire can either go around the banister here or potentially around the leg of one of the sofas here, and it would have just flung off in that direction, which would have given the misdirection and illusion in that someone, to be fair, there could even be someone right here, right, or on the stairs, who just yanked it downwards, if that makes sense, would have thrown it towards the stairs. Obviously, we don't see up the stairs, so we know for a fact that, there could possibly be someone up there. Then,
is that you making all that noise back there?
What happens next? Door closes, nice and easy. There could just be somebody inside there. Again, these are all hypotheticals, possibilities. I can't categorically say for certain.
This thing's always closing doors. You need to get out. Dude, will you knock it off, please?
Nice and easy. Someone's in there, possibly. Now, this again would... This is why I think this could possibly be some kind of CGI, because we've seen this in the other clip where you saw it on the stairs. I've just got a feeling this guy's really good with CGI and just knows how to make this kind of stuff tick.
You got to get out. You're gonna lock yourself in the laundry room again? You're not leaving? You're not gonna...
And then the chair, nice and easy again. You know, he could even have the thread, but there is a hard cut. But if you'll notice it here,
Yourself in the laundry room again? You're not
starts
leaving?
walking. Oh,
Doors. You need to get out. You're gonna lock yourself in the laundry room again? You're not leaving? You're not gonna...
did you see the hard cut? There's a good possibility he could have just held onto a piece of thread himself. He could have it to his friend who's potentially thrown the other thing, possibly. There's a lot of possibilities, like, you know, a lot of hypotheticals, a lot of what ifs. I can't prove any of it. I can't disprove any of it. I can't say for certain that that's paranormal. I can't say for certain that it is paranormal or it's not paranormal. But if I was to recreate this footage, that would be how I would have done it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Way down there, jump scare the hell out of that like button and subscribe. I'm truly, like, I like watching this stuff because it, like, I feel like it helps me keep my brain ticking over to be like, oh, that's how I could have done it. Or so if you, I just do that because I just fancy doing it. So if you ever like watching this stuff and you want to see more of it, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments and I'll do more of it. Send me suggestions as well. If you're like, oh, I don't know how this could be recreated, but how would you have done it? Send it to me. Yeah. I'll speak to you later. Peace.